everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a new pop-up video tutorial featuring our brand new A7 pop-up suitcase die set. And what's really unique about this set is you can turn it into a little mini album, which I will be showcasing in today's video, and in a future one I will show you how you can turn it into a regular flat 5x7 card design. I'll also kind of explain it in today's video because it's very easy to convert it into a card. But I did want to show you a little bit of my process when it comes to die cutting. I do kind of lay out all of my dies and run them through my machine in one go. So you can see I have them all on my plate. I added small scraps of cardstock, and then I just end up with a big pile of die cuts that I can then assemble into what I call stickers. And I am going to be using the USA badge die set as well as the road sign set. And I'm only going to show you a few of these badges because if I were to film every single badge set that was a part of this collection, I would have days worth of footage. But as you can see, every badge has multiple layers. Some of them have more than others. Here I am just creating a little USA badge. This collection, if you haven't seen it already, really centers around US road tripping. So I thought it would be cute to create a USA themed suitcase, and I think this would also be a really cute 4th of July card. It's a little bit masculine too, so it could be a great Father's Day or a birthday card for a guy as well. In the USA badge die set, there is a little circle that has a palm tree on it. So I am going to take my Copic markers and create a little sunset on the top part of that die, and then on the bottom I'm paper piecing some sand, some water, and a palm tree. So this little die has 5 layers to it, and then the little black circle that can go behind it. So technically 6 layers. And almost all the badges have at least 2 layers, so some of them are more detailed than others, but they're really fun to put together because they're so small and so cute. And you might be noticing that I'm also, actually I'm not showing it, but off camera I did double and sometimes triple layer some of the die cuts, mainly the base layer. So on this little van, I die cut the white base layer 3 times. And that makes it look like a chipboard sticker, which is really cute. It does add a little bit of extra time, but I think it's worth it. But yeah, this van, as you can see, it has at least 10 layers. It has the peace sign in the center, the blue outline, the yellow lights, the silver accents, the tires. There's even a frame that goes around the window, and there's mountains that are inside the window. So these are incredibly detailed, and we have badges that are specific to each state. So based on where your home state is, you can pick the region and create suitcases that are based on your home state, which is really cute. Or, you can collect all the regions and add a badge to your suitcase as you travel. That was kind of the idea there. There's also a USA themed stamp set that again represents every single state, and I thought it would be cute to color in every state that you travel to, and then hopefully the entire US map would be eventually colored. I was inspired by this collection because I am traveling this summer to different shows all over the US, and I wanted to have some die sets that would help me document my travels. And because of that, I have been recently getting back into scrapbooking, and I've been having a really great time with that. I hope to go live soon and show you guys my travel journal that I've been working on. The USA badge set also has a cruise ship, so if you have recently been on a cruise, or you're about to go on a cruise, you can create a suitcase that's specific to that, and you can pull in like the palm tree image. If you're going to the Caribbean, you can pull in the moose or the mountain sets if you're going to Alaska. So the idea to really fill a suitcase would be to use multiple sets. But here is all the dies included in the USA set, and as you can see, you get a good variety. And for all of my cards that I have been working on recently, I have been creating 2 badges per set, which definitely took a lot of time, but they're going to be nice and easy cards once I start creating with them. All right, so now I am taking all of my pieces that I cut from the A7 pop-up suitcase. And as you can see, I die cut them from some of the new Adventure Awaits pattern paper, also from some solid heavyweight white, black, and like a white glitter cardstock. At first I thought I wanted my base to be white, but you'll see later I changed it to black just because I felt like it helped the badges pop a little bit more. But I am going to keep my box that's inside my suitcase white. So we're going to start with the box. And if you saw my recent live, I created a box by itself with the Accordion file folder system on the inside. You can use that box by itself like I showcased in that video, but you can also put it inside the suitcase and turn the suitcase into a mini album. So that's what I'll be showing today. And in a future video, I will show you how to use the suitcase as a card. So it will be able to fold flat. And basically you just recreate the card I am creating today, just without the box. Right now, I'm just reinforcing the score lines that are on the box die. And this is a great size for gift cards, candy, ATC cards. You can put embellishments inside the box. It's a great die by itself. On the die, there are 2 glue tabs. I'm going to add double-sided tape and glue to each of those tabs, and I'm basically just pushing it upwards to meet that other fold above it. So you can see I'm just hiding those corners behind those 2 flaps that go up. I just did that to the left side, and I'll do the same thing on the right. So I'll remove the backer on the tape, add a little bit of glue so that there is some wiggle room there, and then I'm just going to fold that up to that right flap that's also folded up, and I'm tucking it on the inside so that you won't see those little glue tabs. Then I'm going to take my other base piece, which is the exact same base, and I'm going to add some 1/2-inch double-sided tape along the long strip that's in the middle of those 2 glue tabs. I'm not adding any tape right now to the glue tabs, just on that long strip so that I can take my folded piece that we just worked on and line it up with the other long piece right in the center. So you should have something that looks like a semi-opened box. Then you can add tape onto those glue tabs and again fold them up towards those tabs that are facing upwards on the left and right side. Very simple box. I know a lot of you have probably made boxes before. So the die just did pretty much all the work for you. All right, so just gonna finish that up. Now I want to angle these other glue, these corners so that it can easily fold. Now you don't have to do this. My mom actually showed a way you can keep those edges completely as is without cutting them, but I do cut them at an angle so that the box can fit a little bit easier, and I like having it secured on those glue tabs just to make sure it doesn't open up with that accordion that's on the inside. All right, so then I'm taking the accordion piece from the pop-up suitcase die set. I did cut 2 of these accordions out. They're just 2 long strips, and I am Mountain Valley folding these. It does not matter if you start with a mountain or start with a valley. You're just going to want to do the same pattern all the way down, and if you don't know how to do it, it is basically fold up, flip the piece over, fold up, flip, fold up, flip. I've done this accordion so many times that I'm just kind of doing it very quickly, but if you are familiar with our shadow box book, this is the exact same process. And you're going to want 2 of these to go on the left and right side. And I cut these from lightweight cardstock because the heavier the weight, the more it's going to want to push that box open. So these accordions were cut from 65-pound cardstock, and the box was cut from 110-pound cardstock. I like to have the box nice and sturdy, especially if you're going to give it away as a gift. So now you can see that you can line up these accordions on the left and right side of the box, and once you can see how that's going to end up looking, you can add your double-sided tape to each side of the accordion. So I just added it to one side, and I'm going to line it up inside the box. I'm going to give about a 1/2 inch leeway on the side so that the flap on the box can still tuck inside easily. I'm also kind of gluing it towards the center of the bottom of the box. I'm not gluing it too far forward or too far backward. I glued it right in the center, slightly to the right, just to leave a little bit of room for my flap to tuck in when the box is closed. Then you can add your double-sided tape on the top of the accordion and stretch it across towards the top of the box and stick it down. Again, leaving a little bit of room on the left side and making it as even as possible. It does not have to be perfect. So then we're going to do the same thing on the right side. I'm going to take my second accordion, add my double-sided tape. You can also add a little bit of glue so you have more of a wiggle room. This time I added double-sided tape on both sides. I'll remove both sides of tape, add a little bit of glue on the bottom part of the accordion, lining it up in the center towards the right side, but leaving about 1/4 inch. I think I said 1/2 inch earlier. It's about 1/4 inch to allow for that flap to fold in when the box is closed. Then I can stretch it across to the top of the box and tape it down. And then my advice would be to close this up, put a little bit of weight on it, and let that glue/tape fully dry. If you're using double-sided tape, it is pretty instant, but you saw that I used a combination of both, so I want to make sure that glue dries before I start the next step. And as you can see, this box is opening even with that lightweight accordion. So you will need a way to close it. So in my showcase, I showed 2 ways, one with magnets and one with a twine bow. You can also get this box to close by itself if you add enough pattern paper on the sides of the box that will kind of limit the amount of space and tighten it. I did show that in my showcase video, but I do like the magnets because it's very professional. So I am using magnets that I have had for years. I could not even find these anymore. So I ended up finding some magnets that work better than these, and I sell them in my shop. So if you would like to purchase them, I will have a link. They're also included in the Suitcase bundle. But in my case, I had to use 3 magnets in order to close this box. If you purchase the magnets that I sell, you only need 1 magnet. So I did add those magnets inside. Basically, I added one behind the bottom flap so that you don't see it, and now I'm adding the second magnet behind the front flap. So when the box is closed, the front flap will go in front of that bottom flap and it will snap into place because that magnet is hidden behind that bottom flap. And they're really easy to add. There is a positive and a negative. You'll know when you click the magnets together how they snap. And then you basically line up the first magnet behind the flap, then you can add your second magnet right on top. It's going to click together, then you add your tape, and then you fold your flap down, and that tape is going to grab onto the flap. So that way, when you know you fold the flap down, the magnets are going to click together. And I feel like I over-explained that, and it's probably easier to just watch what I'm doing. But that is what I did. And I did 1 in the center and then 2 on the left and right side. Again, my magnets are much stronger. They're a little bit thicker, but you only need to use 1 instead of 3. But I wanted to use what I had, and 3 ended up working perfectly for this. They also work very well when you don't have the box inside the suitcase. So it works well even if you're making a flat card design. Just keeps everything clean, and it just adds a little bit of professionalism to the card. I really like how they just close the card nicely and keep it all tidy. All right, so now you can see my box folds perfectly flat. And now I can start working on the decorations and then also the inside accordion file folder system. All right, so that red star pattern paper I'm going to add to the top. I also die cut some blue star paper. Both of these come from the Adventure Awaits pattern paper pad that we just brought out. I'll use those blue stars on the sides. And all of these layering pieces are included in the suitcase die set. They leave a nice border all around. I'm going to add one also to the inside flap, and that's also going to add a little bit of thickness if you were to add those side pieces to the inside flaps. That will also tighten up your box, and it's possible it will allow it to fold completely flat without magnets and without a twine. I did not figure that out until later on. So now, from the same die set, I cut the stitched rectangle die. This is the same die that I used to decorate the front of the box, the top of it, with that red star paper. But I did cut it from the same lightweight white cardstock, and I'm just adding glue to the back side of each, I guess, valley that's in the accordion. So you can do it, you can glue it either to the back of each accordion or to the front. You can kind of lay out your rectangles and decide what you prefer, but in this case I am adding my glue to the back side of each fold. So they're kind of like a V shape. When you put them in, you're just going to pick one side of that V to add glue. In this case, I am adding it to the top of the V. I hope that makes sense. All right, so I added 4 inside mine, but I think you can put 6 if you want. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure that that closes. And you might also want to leave it closed so that all of those stitched rectangle pieces can adhere to those accordions. All right, and then as you can see, you can pop in your little photo rectangles or your little journaling cards, and you have a little photo album inside your suitcase. I just think that's super cute. I think the box by itself would be a cute gift too if you wanted to do like coupons, if you're like, you know, doing coupons for a birthday. You can obviously put photos in, messages. So yeah. All right, so now I'm going to construct the suitcase part. I cut the base twice from heavyweight white cardstock, and then there is a layering panel that you can add on top, which I cut from that same blue star pattern paper. I am going to add this road trip sign paper to the flap, and so I cut the flap from the pattern paper, and then I just cut off that bridge piece. So I have a white flap that has the bridge. I did not cut it off, and then I have the pattern paper one that I did cut just because I want that to be a pattern instead of solid white. And here you can see my box of badges and all the layering pieces for the suitcase. This is my preferred way of creating cards. I love to do all of my die cutting and preparing and put them into these 4x6 photo bins. They're very inexpensive and they keep everything nice and organized. So I have some different options. You can see I'm trading out, switching out the colors, seeing what I like. For a while I thought I was going to go with the red buckles, but it just wasn't standing out enough. So I am going to switch the buckles to black, or the buckle straps, should I say. And I'm also going to make the base black instead of white. I just felt like the white was a bit too distracting, especially because a lot of my stickers have a white outline, and I just felt like it was too much white. And here you can see I'm pulling in the black straps, and this is when I decide, yeah, I need that base to be black so that everything matches. And you definitely did not have to do that, or I did not have to, but think it looks a little bit better. Those little straps that are going across the bottom of the buckle straps, those are what would hold your card down if you weren't using magnets or twine, and you'll see me use that. But I am going to cover those with some of my badges. So you can see the I Love Camping. I'm just going to glue that right over. But I'm still laying out my card design. This is sort of the process I go through with all of my cards, but a lot of the time I take it out of my videos because it is very time consuming. You can see I'm constantly rearranging, changing my mind. And here I took a picture because I did like that layout. And now I'm going to just carefully take off my blue star paper and put it onto a black base instead. I have all of my badges. I put them back in the bin for now, and we'll work on everything one at a time. So I glued back my blue star onto the black. I have now a black flap, and I opted to go with the red star paper because the road sign paper was a little bit too busy. I really wanted my badges to stand out, but I am going to use that road sign paper on the inside flap. I have another black flap, so you will need 2 of these. I'm going to add double-sided tape to the back side of the one that has pattern paper on it. I'm also going to flip my suitcase, or actually, sorry, I'm going to grab my second base piece that's black and line up the tape with the back side suitcase. And they'll just line up at the top, making sure it's going across evenly. So this is my blank suitcase. I don't have any pattern paper on this one. This will be the back side. I'm going to take my other black flap, add some more double-sided tape to the 1/4 inch tab that's on there, and line it up on the front of that backside piece. Then I'm going to take my star suitcase base piece, and I'm going to glue that onto the bottom flap completely, entirely covering that up. And this will create a trifold, which is a unique design. We haven't done something like this before. And then that top flap is going to be the closure. And the box is just going to sit right there in the middle. Going to add my double-sided tape to the box. And if you were creating a card, you would do the exact same thing. You just would not add the box. You would keep it flat, and you would have to add a score line on those flaps, like so you can create an accordion that will allow it to fold completely flat. Again, I will have another video, but I'm sure you guys can probably figure it out. Alright, so I'm going to add a USA pattern paper to the back of the box. You don't end up seeing a lot of this, but I like the pop of blue. And here you can see how that would just fold open once the card, or once the suitcase is fully assembled. Now I'm going to take that road sign pattern paper, and this will go on the inside flap. And on the inside of these suitcases, I really just let the pattern paper do the work for me. I had some extra photo corners, I guess, that you would put inside the box. And I opted to just use them on the bottom. And if you look closely, you can see that those corners have rounded cut lines. That is there so you can tuck in a 3x4 photo that can then fit inside the box, or even decorate the suitcase on the inside like I'm doing here. I have an extra little United States flag badge that I think I'm going to end up using on the inside. And to kind of break up all of the patterns, I am going to add a solid white stitched rectangle to the center, and this is the same stitched rectangle that I added to the inside accordions. You can see I'm adding another one to extend that file folder look so that I can add another photo insert. So I'll just stick that in. And you can fit up to 7 photos in there, and they do fit 3x4 photos. So now I'm going to decorate the front, and I have my black straps. I did double them up with heavyweight black cardstock because these are essentially keeping the card flat. So you can see when I am not putting weight onto that top flap, the card wants to open. So to avoid that, I'm going to take these little black pieces that are included in the Suitcase die set, going to add double-sided tape and glue to these because these are holding everything together. And basically I just added tape to the left and right side of those rectangle pieces, and in the center that is going to hold my buckled strap. So I don't want my strap to stick to the center of these. That's why I'm only adding tape and glue to the left and right side of the buckle. That way I can carefully slide those straps in and out of the card. Now I'm going to add the buckles, which I cut from a really cool, like, dark silver mirror cardstock. I also cut the zipper that's included in the Suitcase from that same mirror cardstock. And this tiny strip that goes across the zipper I cut from black. So, and then the Suitcase die set also includes these decorative corners. I'm not sure if I ended up using these or not. I don't think I do. But those are included if you want them. And as you can see, with the die, you can create a really cute plain suitcase. It includes 2 different handles, and I opted for the handle that goes across the top of the flap, but there's also a handle that can go across the top of the card, so you would see it front on versus top. You have to check out the website to see what I'm talking about, but you get 2 different strap options. So I am pulling in the US road trip sign from our new road sign die set. That's the only extra badge I included that wasn't from the USA set. Oh, also the license plate, the Are We There license plate, is in the road sign die set as well. But the Statue of Liberty, the flag badge, the United States that I cut from yellow, even the little smiley face is included in the USA badge set. Also the I Love Camping in the USA. I also have Pit Stop from the road sign badge set. Just trying to find badges that match my color scheme. I did like that pop of yellow from the smiley face. So I wanted to have a third yellow element, so I added an arrow, also from the road signs die set. And I guess I did end up using the black bottom pieces of the Suitcase. I also added a couple stars just to fill in the extra space. And I showed you how I made a couple of these badges at the front or at the beginning part of this video. And for future videos, I'm not going to show the badge assembly because that definitely took up the majority of my time. And if I would have filmed me creating every single badge that I ended up making, I would have had days worth of footage. So I feel that you probably get the idea with all of our new badge sets. They all have multiple layers to them. They're all quite small, but they're really adorable. And they also make great stickers for scrapbook layouts. I love that this one is all US themed, but in the Suitcase bundle, there is an international badge set. So if you're from Europe, or I think I represented over 20 different countries in that set. So you can create suitcases for a couple world countries. And the Suitcase includes a travel essentials set that has like a passport, a sun hat, the little binoculars that I thought I would use on this card but didn't end up using, some sunglasses, basically just images that pair well in what you would pack in a suitcase. There's also an adorable little camera in that set. So here's that strap I was talking about. That is the one that kind of extends across the top of the flap. I did round it with my finger to add a little bit of dimension. I'm also adding the little dots that are included in the suitcase set. These look like little studs on a suitcase. I added them to the bottom decorative pieces and also to the buckle straps. I cut those also from that dark gray mirror. All right, and then as you can see, you can just untuck the straps to open up the card. And I did glue the I Love Camping and the Are We There Yet license plate over those rectangles that I, glued down previously. I just made sure to glue them directly on top of the rectangles and not on the left and right side or above where the straps would be hindered if I were to glue those completely flat. I made sure that those straps still tucked in easily. All right, so then you can see you can open up your box with the magnets. It keeps it completely closed. And it just creates a little mini album, which I don't believe there are any dies in the industry that create mini albums. I think that this is just a really fun pop-up. I can't wait to teach a class on this one next year. So I think that'll be very fun. And if you're not a scrapbooker or a mini album creator, this does work also as a 5x7 card, which I will have a video on very soon. So thank you guys so much for watching my video today. I do want to announce that the Adventure Awaits card kit is our best-selling card kit of the year so far. We only have about 10 left, and we will not be restocking it for several weeks. I honestly was not anticipating the popularity of that card kit, which I'm very excited for. So I thought I would throw that out there, but I will have everything I used in today's video linked down below, including the pop-up suitcase bundle. So again, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.